What's going on, Guardians? It's Tizzle here, and in this video I'm going to be showing you a solo flawless run of the new Sundered Doctrine dungeon. You can see I am on Necrotic Grip Warlock with Lightning Surge and Devour, of course. And then I've got a couple loadouts, so you'll be able to just pause and see all my mods and whatever because I do loadout swaps on the first two bosses. Sorry, the volume is way down on the run because I was doing this on stream. So yeah, sometimes I'm talking to the chat and whatever. So I don't want my voice from the recording to override my voice as I'm giving commentary because I have lots of good tips and tricks. So for the opening part, you want an eager edge sword just to speed things up. That's another thing. I take all the right pathing in this. So again, I really wanted to show it. And like I said, even when I make these, it helps me learn. Because, yes, this is a solo flawless, but I will admit it is spliced together. Reason being, I was solo flawless up to the room before the boss. And then my game froze. It has done this 2 nights in a row while I was on stream. So I've had to end stream. Ironically, both times it's right around supper time. So this last time I updated my drivers, and then my drivers, I got a black screen after. And anyways, I will continue that in a second. But basically, I'm amplified here. And then, yeah, you just want to buzz past all those enemies. You can see it's pretty easy. And then remember, amplified makes them less accurate toward you. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out. But anyways, I updated my drivers. I got a black screen. So I've been living in this dungeon. I have lots of good tips and tricks to provide. So that's why I'm still just going to do the commentary because I know I can do this solo flawless. And if I got to the boss, in my opinion, the boss is the easiest part of this dungeon. So yeah, really, it's just a matter of my game not screwing me over. So here you can see I'm looking at the first symbol, and I always go to R1 to start. And then we get lucky because we get the bat in this room. So that's going to tell us where we have to line our lights up. And you can see the symbol is stop. And this one was give. So now I'm checking there. It's praise. So now I know it's on the left side. So these are things that you can do to drastically speed it up. The first rotation is only 1 light. The second rotation is 2. And the third rotation is 3. So with this one being 1, if you actually look above the doorway, if you know the lore and stuff, then you actually won't need that bat for the very first one. You can just guess where it is. So it looks like we got room L2. So I'm running out of here because I have a lens. Or sorry, this is room L1. But yeah, right there. I'm just going to pause it. Look. So pyramid stops Savathun, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a lore guy, but my symbol is stop. That's why I always do the Truth Seeker bats, because I'm not good at that, but that is something you can do. And then there are paths that you can take for the lenses. L1, L2, and R2 can all be done in 2 lenses. So really quickly, I am going to pull over, what is it here? The map for this room. So there's actually 2 maps. I have this in my Discord. So here was the first map that I was using. And this is very complicated, and it was just kind of doing my head in and making things kind of harder than it needed to be. You can pause and screenshot these. I highly recommend it, to be honest with you. So here's the optimal paths. So you can see L1, you put 1 here, it shines to a permanent, and then that shines to here, and then through here, and through here. And then L2, you can go straight down. L2 and R2 are so easy because you can just go straight down, boom, boom. Or you can use these ones to shine and boom, boom. And then R1, you basically have to go that way, unfortunately. So I probably shouldn't be blocking the gameplay, but you'll see a lot of this running the lenses, which brings me to my biggest gripe with this dungeon. Much like Ghost of the Deep, I fucking hate the opening encounter. It is way too long. And you can see I'm trying to kind of over-optimize. So I was still learning these myself. So I think I needed to keep it where it was because it was shining on that light. but I got a little confused. So yeah, it's going to beam there, and then it beams out. Jesus. I just took it away again. So yeah, this is just me being inexperienced and dumb. But again, this is where I learn, because I can watch this back as I'm trying to teach you guys. So now it goes to this, and then you're going to be able to shine it right through that grate on the left, and then it's going to reflect up into that lens up top there, and then it's going to hit the symbol. So again, you'll only need 2. But again, this was kind of my first run with the optimal path map. So I was still kind of learning them. So now it's like, oh, okay, it's glowing in here. I didn't know this lens was inside the window there. And you do take damage from the solar beam. So that's something to be wary of. So yeah, you can see I am taking like lots of damage and stuff. I could just pop Transcendence and get Devour, which is what I do. So we get a little lucky there because I'm just playing like a complete dumbass right there. But it doesn't matter too much. So here, I kill this guy. Really, I'm just wasting time. I just need to get the lens and get it out in that hallway. So I really don't know what I'm doing here. So yeah, there you can see. Oh yeah, so I'm also writing down what the room symbols are. But yeah, I'm wasting a lot of time here. And again, this is just from inexperience. I'm going to follow that map, and I generally have a good idea of how to do all the 2s now. So R1 is the only one that gives me a bit of trouble now because it requires 3. And then, yeah, sometimes if you get suspended, it can be like game over. But anyway, we find the Truth Speaker. Oh, maybe I finished that one. Sorry. So we've got Hive Eyes, which I wrote down where that one is. So L1 is Hive Eyes? Okay. Sorry, I'm kind of all over the place. I hate this one. So my tips aren't going to do a lot. Just literally follow that map, and it's all just like connecting the dots. This is not my expertise, knowing where I'm going. So what's the one? Spire the Watcher. I at least was able to learn where all those nodes were, so I could drastically speed up future run-throughs. The problem with this one is it's all random. So yes, if you're like good at knowing where you're going and all that stuff, you're going to be able to speed up your future runs because you're going to know all these optimal paths, which I'll probably get to that point, but I'm not there yet. But that's why I wanted to make this video, to show you those maps that I have. Like I said, just go pause, screenshot them, and have them beside you when you're running your solo flawless, because it's going to make your life so much easier. So again, I'm trying to figure out the best ways to aim these ones. So I'm like, oh, does it go through there and reflect? And then it's like, oh yeah, it does. And then, yeah, I also have Phoenix Dive on for this encounter only, and then I run Healing Rift on the other ones. But yeah, this is that Necrotic Grip build. So look at that. We can like spread poison. It's really good. Look, I got my Transcendence super quickly there. Unfortunately, that guy bent down. So I find the Strand guys more threatening and dangerous because if you get suspended, it's pretty much game over. So I usually use Transcendence or my super on them. So like I said, I was a little confused with where this is going until I kind of clued in. So what I have to do is rotate it into there. So now it's going to reflect all the way and connect that plate or that symbol or whatever.
So it's got to be worship. Worship is L2.
Or did it not? See, I still don't even know. I'm so sorry. This encounter drives me insane. I despise it. Just watching it, it's actually worse to watch. Like running it is boring, but like watching this, sorry to all my viewers on Twitch that were probably, and YouTube, that were probably pulling their hair out. So yeah, here we got an L2 placement. So we're able to go to that far one, and then you can use the middle lens, and then you just beam it right into there, and then it just beams it right to the other side. So that one is like a money one to get. That one is definitely the easiest, and R2 is the same, But the problem is if you have L2 and R2 on the final rotation, or I guess it could even happen on the second rotation, you can only use that one for one. But there are two optimal paths. But that one is the easiest for me because it's literally a straight line, and then it's just in the room, you reflect it, and boom, you're done. So look, we are 11 and a half minutes into this. It would be really nice to be done this first encounter by now because I've done 3 lenses, and now we have 3 more. What Bungie was thinking with making you do it 6 times is beyond me. Maybe even do the 1 and the 3 if you really want. But why 1, 2, 3? Like, it just drags on. And like I said, there are people that will know these pathways in and out. And in a team, I guess maybe it's too quick. And maybe because of contest mode, they wanted to extend it or whatever. I don't know. But anyways, here we get Hive Eyes again from the bat. I check and it's kill in this room. Again, I believe this room is R1 because that's where I always like to start. So here is where it makes the most sense to write down the rooms. So R1 is kill. You want these ones written down so they always change. I tested that as well. So you can't just write them down on the first one. The symbols will always change. So then here I'm checking this symbol. It is worship. So then I know that I need to go to Hive Eyes on a different side. So it's one of the L ones. Oh yeah, and sometimes I go down that middle lane. You can see the electric slide or lightning surge is so nice for those Grim. It just takes them out super, super quickly, which is awesome. So then we have dark. So then L2 is going to be Hive Eyes, which is nice because we get the easy pathway. So we actually had really good RNG here. That's another reason I was so sad that my game froze, because I knew it was going to be, like, honestly one of the quicker opening encounters that I did. But there's really not much to it. I run Solar Holster on my boots with Parasite. You can see it pretty much one-shots those guys, and that's what you want. You need high damage, and Parasite is literally perfect. You run Solar Holster, so it basically gives it auto-loading holster, and then you're slaying out on so many ads, right? So every time you do go to use it on one of those guys, you're going to have a times 20, unless you go between the rooms and kill them like back to back. But for the most part, you like always have a times 20. So here we have it lined up. I'm just going to speed up the rotate. Even this rotate stuff is like annoying because it like spins dumb directions sometimes. Like I said, I just am not a fan of this encounter. So yeah. It's what's going to make me not do multiple solo flawlesses. I would love to do Titan Hunter and Warlock because, I mean, the Warlock and Titan strats are pretty similar, but I guess they're all sort of similar, but it would just be fun, right? Like new dungeons, it's fun. Like Warlord's Ruin, I loved doing different stuff for solo flawless for that. But this one, not so much because of this opening encounter. It's the exact same thing as Ghost of the Deep was for me. And then Vespers, I didn't do multiple because that final boss was just so hectic that it was really inconsistent for me to get solo flawlesses because you'd get all the way there, and then also that one's bugged as hell, and now Rainix has like way too much health because they took away some of his servitors, but they didn't adjust the health pool. So yeah, Vespers is no fun to run solo flawless now. This one would be fun if it weren't for this encounter. And like I said, I will get more proficient at it, but I can't really help you other than to show you the map and just say run it a few times and try to learn the proper pathing so that you can do this as efficiently as possible, because I am quite slow at it. I know like Esoteric, he's always good at like knowing where to go and stuff. So he's probably ripping through this, but me, not so much. So we got Praise or Worship or whatever. So that's R2. So this is what I was talking about. I used the vertical one or the straight line one on L2 already, but there is another optimal path for R2. But again, I was unfamiliar with it because normally when I get one of the twos, I don't get another 2 one. But this time we got L2, R2, and L1. And L1 has a 2 lens pathway as well, where R1, like I said, it's the only one with a 3 lens pathway. So we find the good path, and then we go here, And then all we got to do is kill this guy, and the light is beaming into our room. So that is great. We pick that up, dunk it, and now we just have the last one. So, because I know the rooms, or wait, maybe I do go find the bat. If I knew the lore better, I could have just looked at that pattern on the symbols. I'll try to show it. So we've got hive, warship, and I believe it's dark, but I thought it would be worm because shows what I know. I thought they worship the worm, but I guess they don't. It's dark. So there you can see it. And we're in dark room, which is L1. So again, L1 only needs 2 lenses. So that's all this encounter is just running back and forth, looking for the bat so that you can complete the puzzle. And again, we'll learn these truths and lies as well, like hive, worship, the darkness. Like we'll learn that. So then in the future, it's because this is so new. But yeah, right now, I don't know it as well as I should. So it just takes me a long time. It's not like the encounter is harder for not being proficient at it. It's literally just longer. And that's what I don't like about this at all. Like, I like to be able to speed up dungeons by having good strats and combat strategies. Where this is like, oh, how well can you know the lore? It's cool. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a really cool mechanic, but I don't like it for me because I don't really play this game for mechanics. I play it for the combat, the sandbox, the build crafting. But yeah, basically, I'm trying to shine it in there. Boom. Now it's going to come out here. Then we connect that lens through the grate, just like that other side. And then that reflects all down this left side. This was actually sketchy. Oh my god, all my melee's missing. Like I threw that one right between his legs, pretty sure. And if I didn't get suspended, so this was just sloppy play on my part. But basically we dunk this here. It's going to reflect. And I didn't show the path, but yeah, it just reflects down that left side wall. So I come to middle, and it does this really cool animation. I do love this. Like I love the idea of it. If it was three runs and then you go through, I would like it. But it's 6, and that just is so tedious as a solo player. But I remember one of the God of War games, you had to do something like this where you lined up beams of light with like this big rotating tower. Can't remember if it's God of War 1 or 2. It might be 1. I remember I played it like when I was a kid. It was a long time ago. But I just thought it was so cool. I loved it. So here I'm looking up the pathway through the maze just so I don't get lost. But yeah, anyway, I love like the light beam thing. I love the, like I said, I even like the mechanic, how it's all tied to the lore. I think it's one of the most unique mechanics I've ever done. I really like light and dark and prophecy for that same kind of reason. And yeah, like I think the mechanic's cool as heck. And this next boss I also think is super cool. How you can basically fight it in so many different ways. Like that is great combat design. Super cool. So anyways, what you want to do in the maze is hug left, 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 left. Just like I'm doing. Just keep going left. Once you get to here, immediate right. You see that red light? Jump up. Then you go left, left, and down. That simple. If you're on a solo flawless, don't even go for the secret chest. Get it on a different run and just follow that path. It is the best path and it gets you out of there quick. I know you can get hella lost in that maze. So again, that is why I wanted to make this guide, because now I can just go to my video and just look, okay, what path did I take? Because yeah, I can like go to Esoterics, but he uploads lots and I'm like trying to dig through and find the point in the video. Mine will have timestamps and all that stuff. I will be able to find it, no problem. And then that's exactly what you want to do. You eager skate, you get a lightning surge off so that you're amplified so that enemies are kind of missing you and you can run fast. And then you go through this door. Watch out for right there. It's most dangerous on Warlock, but we got lucky. Again, that's where having a sword is really nice. And now we have this part. So if you don't have a sword, an eager sword, you're going to want to jump here and then jump across to that other landing and then go through. But because I have a sword, we can move quite quickly and miss the ball. So yeah, then we've got this part with the crossing ones. Just take your time. This isn't a race. I mean, unless you're speed running, in which case you do not need my videos. I watch your videos to learn from you guys. And yeah, so anyways, I just take my time, do an eager skate, come on down, take out this knight, then there's an ogre, and then you got to find the symbols. So I like to just chuck a Nova Bomb back at that ogre. And now we have the symbols. So we have whatever that is. I never learned the vow symbols. I think it's grief. We had our own call outs on like day one and stuff. So that's kind of what was always with me, because I was lucky. I didn't have to LFG that one very much. So yeah, that's why you'll see me call stuff like Hive Eyes or Splinter Cell. But yeah, I think it's grief. Even like umbrellas is Ascendant Plane, the one to the right of grief there. That's umbrellas to me. And it looks like umbrellas. Like, why is that Ascendant Plane? There is a nice bolt charge. There is a nice grenade. Oh yeah, this is crazy. Here's a learning thing. Don't stand there. Look how close I was to dying. So yeah, watch those solar beams. They really, really hurt. That would have been such a stupid way to die. Again, this is why I was really happy that I got to final boss basically flawless, because I was like, oh, this is going to be a great learning one. There was some stuff in here. There's something in the next boss too that I can't wait for you to see, because again, it's just a really good opportunity to learn if you're new to like solo flawless dungeons. But yeah, right there, do not stand in the sun. That's something I learned there, almost learned it the hard way, and now I won't forget it. So yeah, like I said, if you're going to attempt to solo flawless, always practice your strats first. Even I did one run before this on stream and I died on this next boss, and it was because I didn't have a melee available. So I learned, okay, always have a melee for when I'm coming out of damage. In case things get hairy, I can proc Devour. And then I did that on the next run, and you'll see my strat here is pretty clean, I would say. So, let's just pause it on the loadout real quick. So I've got a hand cannon, strand hand cannon. It's from the this dungeon, and it's really good. But you can use anything that's strand or stasis. Just make sure you have something like that so that you can build Darkness Transcendence. Aramite, any solar fusion rifle will do. Cartesian Coordinate can roll with Vorpal, and it's solar. You want a solar one for the solar shielded wizards. And then Parasite, because we are doing one plate, or whatever you call those clocks that turn. We're doing one, we're setting it to kill. And then we're doing burst damage. You only have like a 10-second phase. So we have Weaken Grenade on with Facet of Dominance. We have the melee with Facet of Dawn to give us Radiant. And then we're chucking a melee, throwing a Weaken Grenade, throwing a Nova Bomb, shooting a Parasite, rinse and repeat. And then here's the rest of my mods. I'm not going to go through them, but you do need one of these so that you can hold Armor Charge. And then the other one I have has triple Solar Surge. So I do a Surge swap, but that's really all you need to know. I do have Strand Loader as well, because this hand cannon kind of reloads slowly. But other than that, like, you don't need to know too much. So the one thing that can screw you is on this plate, if you get 3 off the bat, it's doable. I've done it in practice. Like, I have made sure that you can do it. Like I said, I've been living in this dungeon, and twice my game has crashed, and then my driver's update black screened me. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to get the video out to the people, get them the help and info, and I will solo flawless it when the stars align. But like I said, I have enough info. I know that if you can get past this boss flawless, you're pretty much a lock to get the solo flawless, unless something really crazy happens. But yeah, so what I'm doing is I stand here and I look for where kill is. So kill is 2 on the left. So I'm going to shoot that so that it's going the right way. And then we take out all the Grim and all the Weavers. So that is your priority. So you can see I'm just spamming Lightning Surge. Lightning Surge is so good for this. I've also done this on Titan with Insurmountable Skullfort. Also great. Gets everything down really quickly. So at this first lock set progression, this is where the wizards are going to spawn. So here you can see they spawn in. If I needed 3, I would stand way at this doorway. So one wizard spawns here, one spawns here, and one spawns way over at this doorway. So if you have 3, you get this one on the doorway down immediately. You run out here and get this one, and you run there and get this one, and you can still get kill. Then you start to stack up knowledge, so it's not such a big deal on subsequent runs. But if you get it on the very first one, it's very tight timing. Like, look, I'm already at 2 and I just got 2, where I would have been across the map. But like I said, you can reach it in time. You just have to be ready and positioned well enough. So again, that's something I learned that I wanted to talk about in this video. And like I said, I will get the solo flawless. It's not a question. It's not honestly that hard of solo flawless. You just have to have the right strats. So here we throw the grenade to get the weaken. One thing is you have to be very accurate with those grenades. I should almost throw on fastball now that I'm thinking about it, because I have missed those grenade slots. And if you miss that, that's 15% less damage to your big parasite damage and your Nova Bomb. So look at that chunk. That is a big chunk, and we're not having to deal with any ogres, any like switching of any other plates or clocks or whatever you want to call them. This is just literally slay out really fast and then do a kill rotation and then rinse and repeat and do it again. Your next one isn't going to be as good because you're not going to have super again. And you'll see throughout the run that I say this a lot, but you got to just take what the game gives you sometimes. Sometimes you get unlucky, especially now, like with these rando mechanics, like stuff isn't predictable like it used to be. Like here, it's like, okay, I need 2. You never know what you're going to get. So you have to really be dialed in on this encounter so that you're always like thinking, what's the next step? So here I do my surge switch. And this is another thing I want to talk about. Actually, I didn't switch off. So anyways, I do this surge switch, but I don't even have surges. So this was pointless. And I think it's because I didn't switch back to my running loadout. And I do that a few times. And then there I realize it. I'm like, oh, I don't even have surges. So let's just go to my running loadout so I don't get mixed up again. So we do some decent damage. I have 2 melees. Like I said, I always want to make sure I have melees coming out of this. Because if I don't, that's what killed me the one time. So look, I'm low on strand energy or darkness energy. But look at my hand cannon. Ramp it up. And elemental honing is on this hand cannon. That thing hits like a truck. That was an orange bar wizard. And we just like melted it. So this time I need 3. So this is a little risky because there's a knight there. It's not worth it to kill the knight unless he rolls up on you, because new knights will spawn with after every kill rotation. So, but if you leave the knight up, no new one spawns. So, like I said, it's just kind of a waste of ammo to keep killing them. So this one, the bat was being really weird and annoying. So I was having a little bit of difficulty. Then we got the weavers and stuff. But yeah, anyways, we get it down, and then I'm super close to a Nova Bomb, so I get that kill there. We swap to damage, and then I just get it in time. That's textbook. And again, it's just rinse and repeat, just be consistent. Here, I use my melee because there's some enemies up and I want to get Devour, but I know I have Transcendence to fall back on. And again, there was a wizard there and a bat there. If I didn't have that melee coming out of damage, I'm screwed. And speaking of damage, I did a lot of testing with my friends, and we tried Dragon's Breath. Ignitions don't proc on these bosses. So that's another thing. Like this strat, I've tried a lot of different strats. I've tried Deathbringer. It's surprisingly good. Like I expected worse. But yeah, honestly, I think this is like a really good strat to use, especially right now. Bungie has confirmed that you see crit damage numbers, but it's not doing that damage. It's hitting as a body shot, which is really unfortunate. We proved this, me and my buddies. We tried Whisper. We hit a ton of crits. I kind of added up like how many crits on stream and then like showed what the damage should have been, and then we did a wipe. So we can see the wipe screen. Look at this. Oh, no, that nade did hit. So I've been hitting some nades, which is good. And then, yeah, this Eremite, look at those damage numbers. That's like pretty solid. So you can even get in some nice chip damage. Obviously, I have particle reconstruction, but you can even get in some like little extra damage if the game's giving it to you. You don't have to take it, but you can. So there, I chuck out a melee just to, again, I'm trying to build up my Darkness Transcendence, because we get so much light transcendence with like our electric slide melee there, because it does count as arc. So yeah, you're never really hurting, and we have like the fusion rifle, the parasite, the nova bomb. So yeah, you really want a darkness top slot weapon, and I find this hand cannon to be great. I just love it. But yeah, there's lots of things that aren't working. So like Celestial Nighthawk, if you want to do this strat on Hunter, Nighthawk would be the play. But right now, it is not, because it's not actually hitting crit damage. So I would just hold off on doing this on Hunter. It sucks. I hope they fix it. This video is going live Tuesday morning. So I hope they fix it with like the Tuesday patch, but I'm not sure if they will. So there, I threw that grenade early, and look, it didn't apply, which sucks. And this actually winds up adding an extra damage phase for me. If I had had that 15% weaken on that damage, I clear in one less phase 100%, because you'll see how little I leave the boss with on the health bar. But it's weird, right? Because it was still getting damaged by the grenade once it opened its thing. So I don't know why it didn't apply. But yeah, basically, there's no rush because our damage rotation is so quick. It's like shoot one parasite, basically. You don't have to like pre-throw your grenade and be on it that freaking second. This isn't a matter of like seconds, given our DPS strat. So there, I check out. So yeah, once I'm in Transcendence, I'm trying to throw out some melees on the left side, because it's just going to get some stuff down, and it's going to help me keep Transcendence going because I'm killing more things. And that's where Necrotic Grip comes into play. A lot of people ask about Spirited Necrotic. You absolutely can run it if you want. But me, I like the regular melee because it ramps up damage. That being said, where the other one just spreads the damage. But that being said is, see, again, somehow I missed the weaken. Not sure why. But yeah, so I should throw my grenade first, then throw the melee. That time ooh, yeah, that was really close. And there, again, that's why you always have a melee for coming out of damage, because you never know where that guy could like sneak around on you. So once we're out of there, I don't know, did I swap back off my... So yeah, look, did I swap back? I don't know. But if you still have armor charge and you swap to your running loadout, it won't actually stack up armor charge until you deplete all your armor charge. It stays counting down, which is really annoying. But that's just how it is, and it's been that way, I think, ever since in-game loadouts came into the game, to be honest with you. So there, I didn't need to electric slide on that that hive. That was a stupid play, but I do have Transcendence, so that's why I wasn't too worried about it. Oh yeah, so look, I do have armor charge now, but you could see in the footage, at one point I pick up armor charge and it just keeps counting down. So like I said, you have to fully deplete your armor charge before your running loadout can start adding it up again. So now it's banked, and then when we switch to this, now you'll see it counting down. It's 18 seconds. Here, again, I'm so close to Nova. Pop Transcendence. So yeah, my Transcendence grenade, don't know if it went through them or what the deal was there. I was hoping to get my Nova Bomb, but it wasn't in the cards. But yeah, for some reason, that Transcendence grenade, I don't think I ever got one to hit. And like I said, I have Facet of Dominance. Oh, does it start as Stasis, then go Void? That's probably why. So yeah, try to just use your Void Grenade and save Transcendence for when you come out of damage. Even though you do get that extra 5% damage bonus. This, like I said, great teaching moment. I obviously want my Nova Bomb for DPS, but I see I'm taking a ton of damage. I don't have a Rift. I don't have a melee. So what am I going to use? I need an instant kill to proc Devour. Chuck out your Nova Bomb, baby. In a solo flawless, your life is more important than anything. Again, speedrunners, whole different ball game. If they like mess up a damage thing, they're probably just starting their run over. But for the average player, you just need to play your life. So I got lucky there, not dying. I was taking a lot of fire. But yeah, I did what I had to do. So here, look at how good that fusion is. That guy kind of got up on our grill. And now, because that was so hectic, I didn't change to my DPS loadout. And then I'm like, okay, now I got this guy. So I just fire literally one parasite. And then I'm like, okay, just get everything back under control. You messed up. You had to throw your Nova Bomb. Everything's messed up. So just, that's what's beautiful about this. The time between the damage phases is so quick that, oh, and here I dunked 2 when I only needed 1. But, like I said, once you have a bunch stacked up, that's no big deal. The only time it's hard is the first couple rotations if you have to keep killing 3 wizards. If you get like 3, 3, 3, you're going to have a really bad time. But as soon as you get a 1, then you start, or even a 2, then you start stacking up that knowledge. And sometimes you can get like too much of it stacked up and then you're accidentally picking them up. I think that happens towards the end of my run here. I need like 1 and I'm just trying to get the 1 and like maybe grab some special ammo, but it's kind of in the way. And there you can see unravel projectiles are going off on everything. So yeah, we're getting our transcendence. Really, really huge. So what I want to do here is, again, don't pop transcendence. I'm just going to use my regular void nade. Shoot the thing. I saved. See, here's, so then I was too cautious. I should have thrown that melee, but I saved it. And the reason I should have thrown the melee is because I do have transcendence as a backup. But I think I was still just a little hyped up from that Nova Bomb chuck where everything was messed up. So I was just playing like extra cautious. So now I have that melee. We can take those guys out nice and quickly. There we have all our stacked up stuff. And then this Blistered Knight comes out of nowhere. So we kill him. Again, 2 bursts on a yellow bar. Like, this fusion is insane. Plus I have Envious Assassin. And you're obviously stacking up that really quickly in this. So there we check out the melee. And then, yeah, we're going to pop Transcendence because we got lots of adds in mid. We still have the bat up. And then, because we're in Transcendence, we start trying to clear left side. Now we're going to have Transcendence for damage, which isn't the end of the world. Like I said, the nades don't usually hit, but you are getting that extra 5%. So, yeah, it's not the end of the world. So we check out the grenade. Wait, maybe it starts void. Oh, it does start void. You just have to be very accurate then. I just don't know what's going on. I found it was like harder to hit that Transcendence grenade for whatever reason. But that one did hit, and yeah, it starts void, then it goes stasis. That's what I thought. So it can weaken still, but like I said, I just found it harder to hit. So that was a really good damage rotation. Let's look at the damage. So we're pretty much between the I and C. We're at the start of the C. So we chuck that, we get the weaken, we get the radiant. Or did we get the radiant? See, that's another thing. You can't see what all your buffs are still to this day. No, that melee definitely hits. So we do a huge chunk. And yeah, 405,000 with Parasite plus the 137. And then look at it on the health bar. Watch the health bar. From the C all the way to the Z. Yeah, I'm Canadian. Or Z, whatever you want to call it. C to Z, C to Z. All I know is that was perfect. We got the weaken, we had the transcendence, we had the radiant, our worm hit. Sometimes you're only getting partial worm damage, like not the impact, but you're getting the explosion damage because the impact doesn't quite hit on the guy. So the more accurate you are, that's another thing. You're going to do even more damage. I do miss a lot of my parasites, but I'm just trying to make sure it lands. But yeah, you could see that was a huge chunk of damage for one phase. And then we're getting back to the next phase very, very quickly, like I said, which is so nice. And then, yeah, we've got Unravel going. So we're building Transcendence up again very quickly. But yeah, that was about as perfect as my damage phase gets. And so back to talking about what works and what doesn't on this boss. Scorch doesn't work. I don't think Jolt works, even though I've seen people like using Jolt strategy and stuff with the Arc Titan and Bolt Charge. Bolt Charge definitely hits. Like, people are absolutely melting this fool with Bolt Charge. But, see, my Necrotic, I'm getting no tick damage from my Necrotic. And that was a big reason I wanted to run this build over Getaway Artists, was because that Necrotic does ramp up, and it becomes pretty significant damage. You'll see on the final boss, we absolutely cook them. Like, we're doing really good damage on them. But yeah, so I don't think Volatile works. I don't think Jolt works. I know Ignitions don't work, and Scorch. I know that for a fact. 100% tested it. So yeah, just something to think about. But I still like Necrotic regardless, because look, right there, I can tag up that Knight and that Wizard, and they're just going to tick to death. And look at how much super energy that's then giving me. So this is why you want to do those left side adds when you have Transcendence, because look, you have 3 melees already. And now watch me get my super energy back here. Hit one, throw the weaken grenade, do some damage. And then once they die, watch that super bar jump up. Boom, big chunk.
Shit, I thought Reservoir Burst was going to take those guys out.
Another thing you could run is Shield Break Charge as well with this build, if you wanted, on your running loadout. But it's up to you. So here, I'm very close. So I'm like, okay, got to get a couple more kills. So I chuck that out, and that tick damage is going to put me over the edge to get my Nova Bomb for this phase. Again, I love Necrotic Grip. Always have since it came into the game. I'm a big damage over time guy, right? I've talked about constantly how strong it is in Destiny. There, see? I only got the 385 from the worm. I didn't get the impact damage because it just hit the bottom of the Shrieker. Not a big deal at all, but just pointing it out. There, my menu thing didn't load for some reason. I had hit the thing, but maybe I hit it just as the menu was loading, so it didn't open. But yeah, that's literally all we do for this encounter. As soon as that's done, you go back, you go to your running loadout, you check where kill needs to go, you dunk it as soon as possible. Like, if you can dunk right there, do that. Because now I'm ready to get ready for the next enemies. Oh, and sometimes it does this. Was that one of those times? So the wizards, so normally the weavers and the bats come in before the wizards and stuff. But I think I did have one rotation where they all come in together. That one wasn't it, but I think I do get that here at some point. So I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, with the crit thing on this boss, it kind of sucks because I do want to start making my solo flawless guide. But like I said, I've kind of been waiting till like Tuesday to just see if they get a quick fix on it. But if they don't, I can't wait around. It took them 3 months for the Vespers thing. But obviously, like, Sleeper and stuff is going to be super, super good in the future. And I mean, Sleeper is great right now. That's what I use to beat it on contest. But yeah, something like Celestial Nighthawk, Hunters are really getting boned with that precision damage not working. Because it would be perfect with this strat. This strat is all about burst DPS. Well, what's better burst DPS than frickin' Celestial? Don't answer that because T-Crash seems to be fucking crazy right now. But for a Hunter, I mean, yeah, it's great burst DPS from a distance. So like me, I'm checking out that Nova Bomb. You could easily stand in the same spot, do the same strat that I'm doing, but with a Celestial. And then just use Ascension with Gifted Conviction as you're running. But then once you go to do damage, just use... And that's what I used on the final boss. Because I did beat the final boss on Hunter. But like I said, I don't want to do this boss on Hunter because they've acknowledged that it's a bug, so they will be fixing it. And then that's the strat to use. So I don't want to come up with some strat that's just a temporary fix anyways for a thing that's not working as intended. So here, I really like standing beside that rock. I didn't really mention that, but it does give you cover. And then there, yeah, I didn't ever switch off my running loadout. So then I'm like, okay, just get out. I'm taking fire from the wizard. The reason you run back here is that boss does shoot solar beams at you right there. And I have died to them lots by staying up top too much. So I get my quick damage in now, and I just run back. Yes, I could finish it in 1 or 2 less phases if I stood in there with the fusion rifle every time. But now I don't have to worry about running around for ammo for the fusion. I can literally just focus on my quick burst DPS and take as many phases as I need to. I honestly was not even really watching the health bar this whole time because you don't really need to. You have to focus because it doesn't matter. Like it really doesn't. As long as you're going through this rotation, you're gonna get it done. As long as you're like focused on the mechanics and just optimizing every damage phase as best as you can. And that is literally what I focused on. And I was never worried like if you have a bad damage phase because like I said, it doesn't matter because the phases are so quick. So here I'm just like, please open up while my Transcendence is up. And he just did, but then my nade missed anyways, which was really unfortunate. But then I get my other nade back. Okay, yeah, so I really wanted that one to hit because look, I have my armor charge. I have my, I get my melee. We've got the armor charge. We've got the Nova Bomb. So yeah, you're losing out on a lot of damage between your Parasite and Nova if you don't hit that. So yeah, look, we do a ton of damage. So we should finish on the next one, right? But this guy popped out. And then I had this guy over there. And yeah, I was just like... And then that seemed like a really fast spawn. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't. But it seemed fast. So then I was like, what the hell is going on? This part was just really hectic. And I did not want to lose it here, obviously. And then we get freaking suppressed. And I'm trying to just throw my melee. Now the wizards are in. And this is how quickly it can fall apart. So like I said, you do really have to be on it. And like focused at all times. So here, I just want to get this kill in before like the lock set progresses. And now things are slowing down, but I don't have a melee. And I talked about earlier, that is like the biggest killer is not having your melee. Because it's a get out of jail free basically. You do that electric slide. So yeah, I was focused on trying to build my Transcendence. And then I didn't get to do my swap. And then that's really good damage, but then there's knights over there, right? So normally I would have just put in a few shots, but I didn't get the ad clear I wanted. This knight randomly came over, which he normally doesn't do. Like I said, just leave the knight because he normally just sits on left side and is no threat at all. Then we get 3 for kill, which is a death sentence almost on your first rotation. But like I said, you got everything banked up. I know all I got to do is get to damage now. I have all my melees. So yeah. I had to add 1 more rotation. So what? Like I said, your life is more important. Just some weird shit happened on that. That was the only time I think I ever got hit by the Grimm's like suppression effect. So I got slowed up a lot in mid there, like way more than I normally do. And then the knight came over. Only time in this run, right? So it's like, okay, no, I'm just gonna freaking get out with my life. And do 1 more damage phase. 1 minute later, look at this. We're headed back to damage. I do my swap, but you really don't need to here. And then we're just going to finish off the boss. We still do the grenade, the melee, because why not? Just be safe, right? But yeah, that was another reason I really wanted this to be the run, because that was a great learning thing. A lot of people would push for that just to finish. And sometimes it costs you your life. And so it's good to just play safe. Now I switch to a rocket sidearm, and then I want a sword for the Traversal. So I'm just going to speed all this up. I brought Thunderlord over too, I was like, oh, what if I need like ad clear? Because I couldn't really remember. Oh yeah, so like the part where you're connecting the lights. There's like Grim and all that stuff. So what I could do, because the sword's pretty much useless to you there, so I could swap to Thunderlord there. But what happens is my game winds up freezing from this memory leak that has been around for ever since Destiny 2 was on PC. So that was really frustrating because I shouldn't have needed that caveat that this is spliced together, because I have no doubt that I would have beat it. Like I said, I've been living in this dungeon. I have my strats down. And the only thing that's really going to kill me is just a lapse in judgment at this point. If you use these strats on a Warlock, you'll be doing pretty much the same as me. And then Titan is also pretty easy for a clear, in my opinion. I've done the whole dungeon solo on a Titan as well. Like I said, Hunter, I've done first and last encounter. Second encounter, I'm just holding off because of that bug. And they have the obvious meta there with Celestial Nighthawk. So it just doesn't, like I said, make sense to find something that will do the trick for the time being. If you are a Hunter main and you want to solo flawless this, ATP is a 2-hour solo flawless, and I'm sure he would have been a lot quicker if it wasn't for that bug. But yeah, so watch his video. And if you want Titan, go watch Sutek. He's done it in under an hour, and his strats will also work great. But like I said, I wanted to show these Warlock strats because I think they're really good. A lot of people have been telling me how great this damage over time, like the thumbnail said dot demon, DOT demon. And yeah, that video did very well because, yeah, it's a really good build. So I'm glad it caught on. But yeah, you can see I'm using it to great effect in the newest dungeon. I wouldn't say it's the hardest solo flawless. I still think Vesper is. But this one's no slouch, put it that way. So here I'm just playing way too safe. I was just like, oh shit, yeah, like I got through. Don't do that. Just do your thing. Keep running and gunning. You play safe, you die, right? Honestly. I have Transcendence if I need it. So here, I think if those guys suppress you, you can't jump. So that is one dangerous thing. But again, I like to just get Speed Booster, which I got from those guys on the ledge, and then you're able to just run on by all of it. So yeah, we get to here, and I'm just going to let the audio play here so you can see what happened.
I don't fuck with you at all. No.
Frozen.
No.
So,
This is where my game crashed last
yeah,
time.
that sucks. And that's the reason this isn't a legit solo flawless, but like I said, and look, my OBS is still running. Like somebody followed on Twitch. So anyway, I spliced this all together because obviously I've done this. So here is how I like to do this maze. Because again, I'm not good at this connecting stuff. So you take this lens and I take it to worm. And then from worm, you actually work backwards. I have found working backwards is like by far the best way to do this spot. So as you can see, I clear out a ton of the enemies. Just play safe. Like I said, just take your time. This isn't a rush. Yeah, you could leave all those enemies up and just focus on the light. And in a team, absolutely do that. But again, solo flawless, your life's too important. So here's the worm. So I'm pointing it at the worm, and then this one shines down toward it. So I'm kind of lining that one up. And I should have left it the first time. Again, I'm no expert at this stuff, but I didn't think it was quite aimed there, but it is. So then we got more ads. Again, use a healing rift, no big deal. We're going to break this. Gonna have to break this at some point. That's for the other lens. So here's where we're putting our first lens. So you put that in. See, I got no melee and I got no rift. So this is a little dangerous. So that's why I had Thunderlord. Thunderlord would be great here, right? You could just mow down all these enemies really, really easily. Or even, actually what I should swap to is Buried Bloodline. Because that can proc Devour for you. So yeah, like I said, I worked backwards. This is the lens for the other door. So yeah, I didn't line this one up. So you go left from like that first light, and then you tilt this one to go up and over. So now we're going up, you know what I mean? And then over. So we turn this one the other way. So like I said, I actually made this up myself because I was like, I need a consistent way to get this done so I'm not running around like a chicken with my head cut off. And so I can teach people, right? Like, that's what you guys come here for, is tips like that. So like I said, start with worm, work your way backward. And then when you put that light in, like I said, it's going from the left of worm, and then you go up and over, and that's how I remember it. And then the other one is really simple then, because the one is already completed. Because when we were in a team, lots of guys are trying to help and do everything, but then you got lenses going to the same lens, and that can't happen. So it just gets really confusing. So like I said, I needed a systematic way to make it consistent. So right there, it's like that's going the wrong way. That's going to worm. So this one goes the opposite direction of worm. So if worm was going left, we'll call it. This one's going right. So you aim it to this one, and then you spin that around. And we had already broke that one, but it was covered in that hive stuff. But I didn't line it up, so then we line it up over there, and boom. And then we're just going to go up and over again at the end. So we put a rift down. Again, rifts are so nice. And then we shine there. So yeah, I didn't really preset this one very much. But you could kind of like tilt them like I did with Worm, where I kind of set everything up so that when you do get the lens in, it's just basically going to auto-complete. Or you do it like I just did it and just do it as you go. Either way works. Regardless, you're through. Here, you're going to do an electric slide to get by these fools. And then it's this door you shoot open. So that's introducing you to the shoot the door mechanic. Don't get stuck in the door, obviously. Keep that amplified going. Amplified, you also get DR. So the enemies are less accurate and you have damage resistance. But again, all these traversal parts with the enemies, just run by them. I've never had any issue as long as I was running by them. Even here, why am I shooting the Grim? Just go. I was being too cautious. Just go. Then you go this way, and then we're on to the final boss. So, unfortunately, my actual clear, I wasn't recording from the start. So what we're going to do is just show a clear where I was recording from the start. And then I'll show you my final damage phase on the one where I did clear on. But this is an easy 4 phase, as you'll see with the damage. Oh, God. I spliced this wrong, too, but it doesn't really matter. I guess we're going to damage first, and then we'll get to the mechanics. So, as you can see, I'm standing here. Whoops. A little editing blunder, but whatever. So we throw our weaken grenade. We throw our melee. The reason we do that is for unravel, necrotic, and radiant. Then we pop transcendence. So now we're doing huge damage. The reason I like to wait to pop the transcendence is you get more damage. And the boss, I wait till the boss moves to me. Like, see, he's in a really good spot now. That's why I don't pop transcendence off the bat, because he's far away. So we can get the most out of our damage doing it this way. And like I said, we got necrotic going. We got all these things. Now he normally runs back to mid, which he's doing. So we tag him up again. And then you can still get some damage in, as you can see. So look at that damage. Almost to the D. That is easy 4 phase territory. So now let's talk the mechanics. Like I said, so if we look here, Traveler gives... Is that Savathun or Witch Queen? See, hold on. I've got a thing with the symbols here. Traveler gives Hive, so that's Hive. Or Pyramid... drinks worm? This is what I'm saying. Does the pyramid drink the worm? Or does the traveler give hive? See, I literally don't know. Which is why they have the bat. And you can just go kill the bat. Oh yeah, and swap to your running loadout always. Because your running loadout, you need arc scavengers. Because look, I had a finder brick on the ground, so I got 2 instead of 1. And watch how much I get here. I get 6 instead of probably like 4 or 5 from a full brick. So your running loadout, you need scavs. So I just come down here. I don't even really know why I came down here. So normally what I do, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Oh, right. Because this wasn't my clear run. This was me trying to outsmart and like solve the puzzle on my own, rather than just going and killing the bat. But the bat tells you what to do. So then I think this is where I clue in, where I'm like, nah, I should just go find the bat. And that's what I'm going to do on my solo flawless. Like I said, it's actually quicker for me to just kill everything than it is for me to sit there and try to puzzle solve. Because that's what I'm good at. I am good at slaying out. As you can see, we're clearing this room with ease. We took out that stasis guy, no problem. Now we kill. So there, I look back. So he is going to show us a symbol. And I think it was pyramid, right? So pyramid, what was that? Pyramid drinks something? Either way. Like I said, that's why I just killed the dude. Pyramid drinks worm.
Darken worm, light
I had no idea, genuinely. So that's the truth. So then you want to darken the truth and lighten the lie. Some people say like burn the lie away. Whatever you need to remember it. I just use, alliteration, I guess. Lighten the lie. It's just easy for me to figure out. So I know what the truth is. So now I light traveler and I light give. And then I need to darken the other ones. So I was going back, making sure I know which symbols need darkening. And then I'm going to write that down. I always write it down because I need to. Like I said, the good players, the esoterics, they don't need to. They're just freaking cracked at everything. I'm not. I do what I have to do. And if it's written down, then like, even if you think you'll remember it, sometimes it's nice to just be able to go and double check. Console players and stuff, sorry, not sure what you do. You could take a picture or whatever. Or just do, and that's the other thing. And I did this a lot in all my practice runs, is I would actually go back to mid and just see what the symbol looks like. So I was talking about this on stream, but I messed it up one time. And I was like, boom, if I do that in duality, I'm dead. Like duality has unforgiving mechanics. Where this one, I would call them definitely forgiving, because you can mess it up. And the worst thing that happens is you actually activate and the boss's shield doesn't go down. And then you just have to rerun it rather than it like wiping you, which I'm actually surprised by. You would think it would just wipe you, but they don't. So look, I've got armor charge. Now it's gone because I used my special finisher. But again, it doesn't matter. I have Strand Siphon on. That's another thing I should talk about. I have Rufus's Fury. You can use whatever. Again, just make sure it's Strand or Stasis so you can build up that Transcendence. But it should be something that fires at a really high rate of fire, because that door that you have to open up takes like a lot of shots, and I feel like high rate of fire weapons are better for it. Maybe it's damage based rather than like rate of fire, but all I know is this thing has like the perfect engagement range for this. You can see I get rushed sometimes and it's decent up close, but then at range, when you're trying to kill those guys so that you can get your empowerment buff, so that you can shoot the little things that hold the threadlings, the little webs of threadlings or whatever they are. Yeah, you can shoot them from good range. So yeah, anyways, I say use an auto rifle. So that's another thing. You can get caught in that door. I've done it. So make sure it's fully open and then get your ass through it. Hunter's really nice. I was using grapple grenade. Hunter's pretty chill in here because I was using Stylus Executioner. So you're able to just like rip and like not have anything shooting at you. So I don't really know what I'm doing. Like I said, I am still kind of learning these mechanics. But all you really have to do is lighten the lie and darken the truth. And then I will show the map that I use. This even had me a little confused. So I thought this map was wrong. It's right, but you have to look at this one more horizontally. This is kind of like from where you walk in. So you walk in, this is on your left, these are on your right, this is in the back corner. I was taking it as like I was walking in here, and then I was all over the place. But anyways, yeah, screenshot that map too. Very helpful. Again, on a PC, it's great because I have a side monitor, so that's always up. On console, it could be a little trickier because you might have to look at your phone, or that's the other thing. I'm starting to learn where they all are. I know where light and dark is. I know where stop and give are. The only ones I don't know that well at this point are the main room ones. See, there's drink in the corner. But yeah, anyways, once it's all lined up, this is what we do. We come over here. This time, I don't have my stuff ready. Oh yeah, and I also have a Withering Gaze Glacioclasm on. It's really good for like ad clear on the big knight and things. And as you can see, but look, 72,000 per shot. That is insane, dude. Like, honestly, I am a Song of Flame stan, but I did a Song of Flame rotation and I was very disappointed. And why is because you're not chucking out your arcane needles. So you're not like applying your necrotic grip. yes, you have Radiant, but I'm getting tons of Radiant from my Arcane Needle melees. So look, that's 2 phases of damage. We're at like the E. But yeah, or we're at the R. So yeah, what I was saying with
Let's go.
Glacioclasm
That
is mine has Withering Gaze. So you can apply Withering Gaze from a distance right at the start of damage phase. So then you don't even have to waste your grenade if you didn't want. And then also it fully ramps up your particle deconstruction. So then when you do switch a Queenbreaker, look at that. That was 3 shots on that dude. So when you switch a Queenbreaker, you're able to do max damage right away. So you're getting the most out of your ammo. So for whatever reason, oh, that's right. So again, on Hunter, because I was invisible so much, I wasn't killing things. So then I would actually have to farm ammo. But I found on my Titan run and my Warlock run, because you're not invis, but you're just tanky as fuck with Devour or Knockout, you're killing everything. So you're actually getting more ammo drops. Hunter was the only time I struggled on ammo. And, again, because of Knockout and Devour, I run triple arc reserves on my chest piece on my running and damage rotation. Where on Hunter, I was running resist because I just felt too squishy. So yeah, watch this. We get the Withering Gaze, then we get the follow-up shot, deal a ton of damage. That guy's almost dead. And yeah, then I come down here to write in my stuff because these guys aren't too threatening. You can see Necrotic Grip is just killing everything, and I have Devour. So I'm just literally standing there getting my health back. Like, look, just toying with these guys, writing down my shit while they're trying to fight me. It's like, okay, good try, dudes. This build, I fucking love this build, dude. Like, seriously, it's so good. It's so fun. It's so strong. Look at the damage. That's 2 phases of damage. I haven't really watched anyone other than like Sutek. I did see Chablo with Song of Flame and Sleeper. He was actually in my chat the first day I was doing my testing, telling me where to stand. So yeah, he told me about this spot. And there is a spot on the right side too, which Esoteric used. We watched Esoteric's run on stream too, trying to get ideas. And he stood on right side. I find where I'm doing damage the best for me. You can do damage however and wherever you like, but I tried with this exact build on Warlock, and actually on my Titan I tried the both sides. And in both cases, I liked that left side more. I just found it more consistent, easier to deal damage with. It was just better for me. And like I said, I'm not a cracked player by any means, like Sutek and stuff. So yeah, mine is more for the common person. Again, if you're watching this video, you are probably looking for help and tips and stuff. And that's what I try and provide. So I would say do damage where I'm doing damage. It was super consistent and great for me. And when that sun comes up, you can keep doing damage from there very easily, very consistently. So yeah, I really like that one. Again, as far as the mechanics, it's just going to take some getting used to. I'm still getting used to it. As you can see, I'm very slow in between damage phases. Not that it really matters. Again, what matters is staying alive. It doesn't matter how many damage phases you take. And nothing is like too... I think the most threatening thing here would be maybe getting suspended by the boss at an inopportune time and like getting pulled out in like a bad way. Getting caught in the wall that we shoot to open. That could be just an unfortunate way to die. Or the big dread dudes. Whatever they're called, I can't think. The subjugators and stuff. The strand and the whatchamacallit. Even those threadlings you do have to be wary of. But yeah, those guys are dangerous. I usually use a super on the strand one, and then the stasis one I just burst down with my fusion rifle. It's a strat that works for me. Again, you can do whatever you need to do, and you can take your time. If you want to use your super on one right before damage, then that's fine. And then you just go around and see, even that was a little risky. And it's like, what I should have done was popped my Transcendence. But I'm trying to hang on to it for damage. But that was a little risky, like I said. And then there, I was just checking if I was on the right loadout. But yeah, what I was saying is you could use a super for both subjugators, and all you have to do is farm your super. And that brings me to another point. I have heavy ammo finder on my running loadout. I have arc targeting on the DPS loadout, because why not, right? You want to hit your crits with Queen Breaker. But yeah, for the running, heavy ammo finder, and then on my Rufus's Fury, I have it crafted or whatever, or enhanced. So I have heavy ammo finder. What's it called? It's one of the new mods. Heavy ammo finder enhancement, I believe it's called. So yeah, it's just gonna help you get. But it only builds up like if you're getting kills with your auto rifle. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. You can see I'm kind of low on ammo. So I guess I sort of lied in a sense that I wasn't struggling for ammo other than on my hunter. I guess right here I was. But you can just take your time and do what I'm doing. But I don't recommend farming ammo in that room that I was just in, because those husks are a pain in the ass. I would do it in this side room instead, all day. So we're just going to speed this up because this is a long time between. There, I just jumped over a brick. Clearly didn't notice it, because why didn't I run back to get it? What am I even doing? So yeah, I took the light off pyramid because I get mixed up sometimes. So yeah, sorry about all that. I'm slow sometimes. I'm getting better at these mechanics when I do get the solo flawless. I'm not even gonna do like the commentary of the solo flawless, because it's gonna be exactly what you're seeing. It's just my game won't freeze that time and I'll be chilling. But yeah, starting DPS with 16, and I had a heavy brick over there, that was a big mistake. So you can see I don't get as good a damage, but at the end of the day, I probably wasn't going to 3-phase. You need like a perfect rotation to hit that amount of damage. So I do the not the Withering Gaze thing, but the particle deconstruction stack, because I need to make the most out of the ammo that I do have. And then rewind rounds is really nice, as you can see. Definitely try to get the catalyst. There I'm missing a lot of shots as well. I get yanked out. But like I said, for the most part, it's a fairly safe strat. And with the Unravel, you're damaging all those husks. That's another thing I noticed with my Hunter. I was getting pushed by like the husks and things. So yeah, 16, I could barely get off in that phase. Granted, I was like, that was a pretty crappy phase. But yeah, I shouldn't have started damage before then. So then, yeah, so now that's pretty much it for the video. You've seen the mechanics. Like I said, just follow the map and stuff. I don't really have much more advice to give. Here was the one where I actually cleared. But like I said, I didn't start recording at that clear. I started like after the first or second damage phase. But yeah, Pop Transcendent, like easy melt here. Look at that damage. It's by far the best strat. That's another thing I didn't really talk about. Choblo did use Sleeper. I tried a bunch of different things. Anarchy Fusion, Lament, this and that. I tried a lot of things, trust me. Between Particle Deconstruction and with the big buff that Queenbreaker got, it is by far your best option in my opinion. So just go with what works. Most people should have access to it, I'm thinking. But yeah, that was the sort of solo flawless of Sundered Doctrine. Like I said, I don't really care. I will get it. It's just I wanted to get that out to help you guys, because I think this strat is probably the best. Titan is very good as well, as it is always. Like, Titan is pretty much what I've first solo flawless every dungeon on since Spire of the Watcher. So since Ghost of the Deep, since they've been getting pretty tough, I've done Titan. Spire of the Watcher, I did Warlock, and it was like a 2-hour run because I didn't optimize anything. I just wanted to do it on day one to prove that I could solo flawless a day one. Not contest back then, obviously, but just like on the first day before looking up any guides. And yeah, I did it. But with this one, I wanted to wait and test lots of things so I could be sure that I was kind of giving you guys the best strat, because this was still like an hour and 15 minutes long. That's still a pretty long solo flawless, really, and that's quite optimized in my opinion. Like I said, Titans can take out that first boss quicker, and but yeah, I think these strats are great, and I hope they help you, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like and sub and all that, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.